Good morning, good evening, and good day. You're listening to Drama Buds, an anima podcast. So hello everyone, welcome to today's episode of Drama Buds. Today we talk about a show that I think the world needed, okay? Or maybe I needed this show to bring some magic in my life. Today we talk about The Sound of Magic, also known as Annara Sumanara, which is not the first musical K-drama, I assume, but it's the first in a while, and it's a Netflix original, which means it gets a lot of publicity, a lot of promotion, great for them, and it's also my dream come true. Guys, I don't know if I've talked about how much I desperately want a musical K-drama. Like, it's really my dream to just watch something and then people burst into song. I love musical theater. And I just want to merge my passions together, K-drama and chatter. So this is it. And thank God I loved it. Just a little background on this show before we begin. This has the same director as Itaewon Class and Love in the Moonlight, and same writer as Love in the Moonlight and School 2015. I've not watched any of these shows, by the way. And it stars Ji Chang-wook, who I've seen in Love Struck in the City and Healer. Did not finish either of those. Stars Choi Sung-un, who was in Beyond Evil, and Hwang In-yeop, who was in True Beauty and 18 Again. So it's about a poor high school student who is providing for herself and her younger sister, and she meets a magician in the abandoned theme park near her neighborhood. He tries to make her believe in magic. If this sounds weird, it's because it is, but you must sit through it. It's really, really worth it. Let's start with the plot and characters. First, we have Ryul, played by Ji Chang-wook. I have to mention, each of their names are really goofy and very, on the nose, pointing at something about their story. So, Ryul sounds like real because he's trying to convince people that he's a real magician. So, Ryul is the mysterious magician living in the abandoned theme park at the top of the hill. Based on the plot, the synopsis, it's fair to think he's creepy. Okay, he kind of is. He lures Ai into going to the amusement park, at night, in the darkness. And then he shows up around the neighborhood randomly when she needs him the most to save her. So, creepy coincidences? Yeah, that's pretty concerning. A grown man hanging out with a high schooler. Although we see glimpses of him having a darker side, his intentions towards Ai are kind of clear though, if you give him a little chance. He wants to free her from her misery. He sees how miserable her life is. He wants to free her not by solving all her problems, right? He won't magically make her debt go away or bring her parents back, but by showing her magic, by making her believe in magic. One of the few good things in life, untainted by society and expectations and all her responsibilities and trauma and stuff. He wants to give her some light in life, something to look forward to, something that brings her joy. And with Il-tung, the other main character, Ryul wants to free him from his misery by making him realize that he doesn't need to be number one, right? He doesn't need to follow the path that his parents have put him on. And, once again, Ryul does that through magic by introducing some wonder into his life, into both of their lives, really. This quote really stuck to me, one of Ryul's quotes. And I quote, "You should do whatever it is you want to do just as much as the things you don't want to do." End quote. He wants to let these kids be kids, right? Let them experience life at their own pace, choose their own path, even if that's not what society deems up to their standards or what society dictates to them. And I guess a question throughout the show is his magic real? Right? Is he a real magician the way he's insisting he is? Very passionately insisting? But honestly, does it matter? Does it matter if he is a real magician? If all he wants is to make others believe that magic in itself can be real? right? And he wants to bring magic into people's lives, whatever that may mean for the person. I don't know. Is he a real magician? Who knows? Next character, we have Yoon Ai, played by Choi Sung-moon. So her name, Ai, literally means child in Korean. So you can kind of pick up what her story is going to be about. She's a child that had to grow up too soon. Her mother abandoned their family when she was young, and her father at the moment is running from debt collectors. And Ai is alone providing for her younger sister in elementary school, and she's working several part-time jobs. She's still trying to maintain her good grades even if she doesn't really have hope that she can go to college. At first, Ai is too caught up in her own problems to care about Ryul and his magic because, magic and all this spectacle and whatever, it looks cool, it looks great, but it won't solve her problems. Like, her father's debt won't go away. He won't magically be home. Her mother won't magically come back to them. But she soon realizes that that's not the point of what Ryul is doing. He just wants to give her, right, a ray of light in this world that has forced her to grow up when she's not meant to be an adult yet. Ai is very much Lee Ji-an of My Mister, but in high school. Except, instead of getting sad old Park Dong-hoon as her ajoshi, she gets a magician, a handsome magician. So, good for you, Ai. Even the song Grown Ups by Sondya, oh my god. Epiphany, Grown Ups by Sondya. One of the songwriters or performers here in the show, in the soundtrack, is Sondya. So, very interesting that we have made a My Mister connection randomly here. But yes, Yoon Ai is essentially a younger Lee Ji-an. And a less sad Lee Ji-an, honestly. And our last main character is Na Il-dung, played by Hwang In-yeop. Na Il-dung literally means I'm first place. Il-tung. Right? This is first place. I'm pretty sure I got that right. You can tell he's the top student of the school, except in math, where Ai is the best. And they become classmates, they become seatmates, and he develops a crush on her, which makes him, follow her around when people start gossiping about her and saying that she's meeting a sketchy man in this sketchy amusement park on top of the hill. And so when he first snoops on them, he thinks this is sketchy and he thinks Ryul is a creep. But, when Ryul finally catches him and shows him his magic, you know how he does it. Ryul makes him realize that though at the moment Il-tung can cope with it now, the pressure he's under will slowly kill him. Like there's this recurring shot of him scratching this certain spot at the back of his neck, which is a common sign of anxiety, right? I think so. Il-tung realizes that he needs to find his own path, even if it's not what society tells him he should do or what society deems is worthy of him or what he's worthy of.
나는 날 더 믿었었고 뭐든 될 수 있었어 내일은 늘 오늘보다 설레었지 흐린 날에도 해를 기다리며 결국 피어난 꿈을 마음속에 늘 안고
So, throughout this review, I will not actually be talking about the story all that much because I don't think it's that deep. I think it's pretty much everything that I said it is. I mean, of course, there are some things I didn't spoil because it would be fun for you to discover that yourself. But, in general, there's really not much to it. There's some social commentary, right? Like Il-tung and the ultra-competitive academic rat race, very Sky Castle-esque. And then, Ai is child abandonment. Children having to become parents to their younger siblings. Death? Yeah, maybe. But you have to watch this in a certain way. First of all, suspend all disbelief. Just do it. Don't question anything. Don't be like, oh, why would this happen? Blah, blah, blah. Don't. Just accept that it is what it is. And don't look for things that will not be there, okay? You have to watch it like it is a 6-hour children's movie. A 6-hour Disney movie, even. Disney is perfect for this. Because it won't go too deeply into things, right? I mean, it is a little dark. There are some really dark moments and stuff. And once again, there are some social commentary bits and stuff. But in general, it will not delve too much into the morality of everything they do. the morality of a grown man hanging out with high schoolers in his creepy, abandoned theme park teaching them magic. Sometimes his displays of violent behavior will you be like, oh, he's a bad person because he's violent. Like, no, the show will not even touch on that, okay? They are your protagonists and they are always right and they are always victims. So don't even try to look for that. They won't give it to you. This show really just focused on, evoking an emotional reaction to everything. And the musical format is perfect for that. It follows the principle of when the emotion becomes too strong for speech, you sing. When it becomes too strong for song, you dance. Right? It's very much like that. And if you cringe when people burst into song, this is not that bad. I will tell you, it's really not that bad because most of the time, their musical numbers, they do it in a private space. So it's just them singing to the imaginary audience. There are no like random passerbys who just suddenly, see people singing and then they start dancing. That doesn't, I think they have like maybe 2 songs, right? Out of 12. That's pretty huge. So the cringe factor is significantly reduced. I'm telling you, you have to approach this with an open mind and you have to approach it like a Disney movie. The morals are pretty black and white. If you look at Iltong's story and say, like, your parents have invested so much into you and they just want you to have a good future, blah, blah, blah. Like, there is no in-between perspective here, okay? Our protagonists are hurt and therefore they're right. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But overall, if you approach it in the right way and are open-minded to everything, right? Don't question anything. It's a fun watch. It's a very moving watch. Okay, so for the strengths of the show, I really gotta say the acting is wonderful. Like Choi Sung-un, I've watched her in Beyond Evil. She barely even had any screen time there, so I was really surprised that they nominated her for Best New Actress in the Baeksang Arts Awards that year. I wish they didn't, and I wish they nominated her here instead because she's really fantastic. She's absolutely perfect. Even the way her lips tremble when she's being questioned by her bully classmates for, supposedly stealing something. Spoiler, but yeah. Even the way her lips tremble. So controlled. She's so good. She has a theater background. I think from college and then a few years back she was in theater. And it shows. Because she is over dramatic when she has to be. And you know what? That is such a delicate balance when you're doing screen acting versus stage acting. Or when you're doing stage acting on screen. Right? Because obviously when you're on stage, you have to exaggerate your expressions a lot more because people at the back will not be able to see your face, everything that you're trying to portray. But in screen acting, you get to be more subtle because the cameras are right there. But because this is a musical, if you do subtle acting, it will make the musical aspect so awkward, right? If you're just lip syncing like you're lip syncing on a music video, it just won't work. So she is really exaggerating when she has to exaggerate, but when she's doing the regular acting parts, she's also wonderful. And I think her overacting or exaggeration is it fits the role, it fits the character because it emphasizes that she is a child who didn't get to experience joy and wonder the way she's experiencing it during their musical numbers. So yeah, I love her acting the entire time. Now, for Ji Chang-wook, I have been converted, guys. I've been converted into a Ji Chang-wook stan. It took one role, one performance for me to finally get into him. Unfortunately, I know he chooses terrible projects. Terrible projects in a row. I'm so sorry, Ji Chang-wook. But I'm rooting for him, okay? I think he's a pretty decent actor. And yeah, I'm praying for the best for him always. Ji Chang-wook is so charming. He's so charming. I think it's the hair. His longish hair looks so good on him, and the tail coats. Oh, I think that's it. But he looks so good, and he's so charming. And no matter what he does, I always believe that Ryul is just it's just an inner child that needs to heal, you know? I'm always on your side, Ryul. Anyway, for Ji Chang-wook, I'm also happy that he's able to go back to his musical theater roots just for a little bit. I'm very happy for him overall. I'm sorry I can't say anything about Wang In-yup. He was okay. He was pretty good. That's all I can say. What else? Okay, about the show. Another great thing about the show, the production value. I mean, needless to say, it's truly great, as expected from a Netflix original. The sets are really gorgeous. The CG, well done. There are some beautiful, super imaginative shots, transitions from like the, magical musical number to the real life, quote unquote, back to the regular drama parts. Oh, so gorgeous, so gorgeous. And the visuals are perfect for the fantasy style story. And I also think the story in itself is perfect for a musical K-drama. Like, I think the medium that they chose for this story, it really matched, essentially. That's what I'm saying. I mean, the supposed handsome, non-creepy magician in an abandoned theme park, it's enough to make you want to suspend your disbelief because it's impossible for that to happen. And then musicals in themselves require a lot of suspension of disbelief because people will just burst into song and you have to accept it, right? There's no questioning, why must you sing? No, they must sing. And the story as a whole, it's over-dramatic but also oversimplified. Once again, very Disney movie. You have to lean into it. It's really great if you just accept it as it is.
간절한 마음이 소리가 되어서 멀리에 다 돌아와 오늘을 다시 밝혀주네 간절한
Now, despite my enjoyment of the show, despite my enthusiasm for the fact that a musical K-drama exists and is on a very popular platform that will reach a lot of people, despite that, I do have some criticisms about the music. Not the fact that it's a musical, not anything about their execution of it. The music in itself, I think, should be or can be criticized. Because to me, it felt like a drama with musical theater sounding songs in it. Not necessarily a musical where the songs have like a complete story to it. I don't know if that's right. Essentially, only half of the songs are kind of memorable. And the problem is that the forgettable songs are IE songs, are main characters like solo songs, her I want songs, her I am songs, her sadness, her realizations. Although the lyrics are really nice, they're super meaningful, the songs in themselves are not fun to listen to, right? This is not, wow, what an incredible standard. It's not like On My Own where she's just being dramatic and stuff, but you want to listen to it because it's a good song. It's not like Breathe from In the Heights, another one of my personal favorites, where she's really just talking about her problems and her feelings, and yet it in itself is such a powerful song. You get what I'm saying, right? These are strong emotional moments. It's so strong that you're bursting into song, and yet, no matter how meaningful I know the words are, the songs in themselves are just very bleh. They all blend together. The memorable songs, I'd say, I said half of the musical? Yeah, I guess half of the musical The memorable ones are usually memorable because of the visual spectacle. Like, I can remember what I saw and it was truly beautiful. And when I listen to them, like just, the audio of it, they're still good. But my brain is piecing together, oh, what was I seeing at the time? And not really listening or enjoying the songs as they are. Like, they're not great standalone songs. I'm not saying that, oh, musicals need to be composed of standalone songs. That's the marker of a good musical. That's not true, right? That's the marker of a good pop album. And I think that's kind of what I wish this were. Because Sound of Magic is one of the few musical K-dramas out there. So I was hoping for more earwormy, almost pop songs. Okay. I think I want it to be like a Pasek and Paul musical. Dear Evan Hansen, or for film, The Greatest Showman. I'd say out of 11 songs, 80% of those are very good on their own, very iconic. I think it needs to be that way because this is experimental as of now, right? People are still not sure if this is a format that will work for K-dramas. And so you need to convince them by giving them, music that really sticks. And I think these songs did not stick. I used Pasek and Paul musicals as an example because I do remember hearing some criticism that their songs are very pop for supposed musical theater songs. I think what I'm looking for that is similar to what Pasek and Paul do is that they have the right amount of dramatics from musical theater music plus the meaningful lyrics, which actually, of course, The Sound of Magic has, right? The lyrics are great, and I feel like they're more of monologues that you put music onto. They have the lyrics down, plus the pop catchiness. It lacks the catchiness. And I think that's important to propel this to, popularity, like widespread popularity, and encourage producers, writers, directors, people in the industry to make this more, to make this a thing. Musical K-dramas need to be a thing because I want it and I love it. Looking at the OST album of this, they have a lot of scores. A lot of just background music stuff, and they all have very different titles, and it seems like that's what they focused on a lot, making the score meaningful, which is great. I think the musical motifs I'm looking for may be there and not necessarily in the OST, the soundtrack where they're singing. So maybe I'll listen to that. Maybe I'll rewatch this. Who knows what I'll do? But in general, The Sound of Magic is a good start, right? It's a good start for musical K-dramas nowadays. And I hope that more people try to find stories that will work with the musical format because there are so many great musical theater actors who are already on the small screen or who want to be there. And I think this is the future of K-dramas. At least it's the future that I want for K-dramas.
사실은 지금 모든 순간이
So yeah, that's it for me today. The Sound of Magic is a dream come true for me, guys. It really is. I'm so happy when I first saw the trailer, and it did not disappoint. I think this is exactly what I expected from it, and I really enjoyed it. This is also my 100th K-drama. Guys, we've made it. I held on for a while. I didn't watch anything new because I wanted my 100th K-drama to be special. And it's a musical, so it is very special to me. And also, among all the Netflix originals that I watched, this is my favorite. Oh, I will rank it for you, just so you know. This is number 1. I think next for me would be DP. And then Move to Heaven. And then Juvenile Justice. And then, Kingdom, Squid Game, Silent Sea. They're all kind of on the same level because I didn't feel anything about them. But yeah, this is my current favorite Netflix original. So yeah, watch it, guys. Watch The Sound of Magic. It's really great. It's a Disney movie, a little darker than usual. The songs aren't that catchy, but it's good. It's a wonderful watch. Very beautiful. And yeah, that's it for me today. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you soon. Thanks for tuning in. Feel free to leave a comment, like, subscribe, follow, and tell me what you thought about today's episode. See you soon!